Hello and welcome to Battle of the Beasts All Generation episode number 46. I'm Adam and today I've got two more beasts fighting out for spot round 2. Both of them are with the blue covers. So with this, let's get into this fight. First of all we're going to introduce the beast. Representing Series 17, the Broken Star. Book number 2 is Thoron, the Living Storm. And representing the group of specials, the semi-finalist of the specials generation tournament, and quite frankly, did really well for how well I expected him to. It's Falkor, the Coiled Terror. So with these two beasts, we're going to do the obvious rocky terrain again. And that's because, well, Thoron is, well, a cloud, and Falkor is a snake, and the snake is the only one that'll be on the rocky terrain, and Falkor is alright on rocky terrain. So, with that, let's get into the stats. Okay, now, with the weaknesses, I go along with the Beast Quest wiki, as well as the personalised weakness I have for Thoron over here. So we'll start with the weaknesses for Thoron. Ice weakness. Thoron is extremely susceptible to ice and affected by magical or enchanted weaponry. Thoron can still be affected by magic or enchanted weaponry despite his cloud body. And then with the ability that I gave Thoron, he has an orb inside of him where which kind of contains this cloud-like form, and if it gets dislodged from him, then he'll start going all over the place until the orb gets reconnected to him. But if the orb breaks, he will dissipate and die. Okay? And that's how Thoron can be defeated. Time for Falkor's weaknesses. And according to the Beast Quest wiki, he does not have any weaknesses. Yeah. I spent 10 minutes trying to find a weakness for Falkor, and I generally could not. So, unfortunately, I can't do anything for Falkor here. But with that, let's get into the fight. So as the chamber doors open, Thoron bursts out of the sky exit and just starts shrouding his giant nimbus of a cloud around the arena. Just giving out a laugh of some kind of evil, cackling laugh, shooting thunderbolts down at everywhere he goes, just making a grand entrance for himself. Okay. And Falkor just coils out of the chamber door, staring up at his opponent. Thoron stares down and just gives some sort of mocking laugh. A snake can't do anything to me. Thoron swoops down towards Falkor. Falkor coils out of the way and goes to bite at him, but Falkor's teeth just goes right through the cloud. Thoron swoops back up and kind of laughs in a mocking tone. Falkor doesn't know what he can really do. He picks up a rock with his tail and chucks it towards Thoron. Thoron, moving his orb out of the way of the throw site, just takes it and laughs mockingly. And he shoots a thunderbolt right back at Falkor, which shatters a rock into the smithereens right next to him. Falkor stares up in utter shock, not knowing what he can really do. And Thoron is just shooting multiple lightning bolts towards Falkor, just stopping Falkor from getting anywhere until he's kind of cornered in a circular arena. In which Thoron shoots another lightning bolt towards Falkor. Falkor lifts up his tail and slams it down onto the ground, creating some kind of dust shield. But Falkor also digs his tail into the ground as well, and the thunderbolt goes right through the dust shield and hits Falkor directly but because his tail is in the ground, it kind of makes a little, a killer for the electric. So if it goes into the ground, if the electricity goes into the ground will absorb it, and no damage is done to Falkor. Falkor, as Thoron stares in shock, but also kind of confusion. He builds up another thunderbolt and shoots it at Falkor again, in which Falkor just takes it and does nothing. Thoron getting angrier now. He swirls round and comes down towards Falkor to scare him. Falkor hisses back in a seeming not so intimidating look and swings his head around, creating drops of acidic to just hit the cloud, in which it just goes right through him. And one acid drop actually hits Thoron and dissolves a bit of the orb. Thoron roars in pain and anger, and Falkor realizes, so this guy can be beaten. So, Falkor, still with his tail inside of the ground, Thoron, in immense anger, just comes down towards Falkor and shrouds Falkor completely in his body. And Falkor realizes that Thoron is trying to absorb him, because Falkor can feel himself lifting from the ground as Thoron's carrying him up into the air, trying to absorb him completely. Falkor is struggling, waving acid around, hitting the orb, but also raining down onto the ground. Falkor is currently, Thoron is roaring in pain, but kind of laughing whilst he's doing it, creating electrical volts to go all the way around his body, just to keep Falkor trapped in this electrical field so he can't even get out. And what Falkor does is that, because he realises Thoron is made partially of water because of cloud vapour, so Falkor reaches for an electrical volt which is surrounding Thoron, bites down on it, and whilst it electrocutes Falkor, electrocutes Thoron as well. Thoron gets electrocuted and just separates himself entirely, dropping Falkor to the ground. And Falkor sees that orb that has been partially dissolved and realises this must be what has been damaging Thoron. So as soon as Falkor lands on the ground, he reaches up to snap towards the orb as Thoron stops forming around it again. And right when Falkor snaps down on the orb, digging some teeth into it, or fangs into it, Thoron roars again and snaps another bolt of lightning. Falkor coils his tail into the ground again to absorb the lightning, and pulls with all his might, pulling the orb out of the cloud. Thoron is feeling himself separating, angry as he can't control himself, shooting thunder in every direction. Falkor is trying to figure out what he can do, so he puts it down on the ground, and as Thoron is dissipating, trying to reach for the orb, Falkor lifts up his tail and brings it down directly on top of the orb, smashing it as the glass shattering sound is made. Thoron gives one last roar of anger and pain as the cloud starts disappearing into the mist, and all that's left is just some raindrops from where Thoron once was. Falkor, in utter shock and confusion about this whole encounter, makes his way back to his chamber door, lucky to be alive, but also thinking what happened. So with that, Falkor has won, Thoron has lost. If you think Thoron should have won, please leave in the comments below why you think that. However, my word is final, and we're sticking with Falkor. Now with this fight, I could see either one winning, and whilst I'm most likely going to get accused of having my bias for snakes come into play here, at the end of the day, Thoron has the ability where he can absorb living beings and then shapeshift into them, which would have been a good idea to use for round 2 if he won. But whilst he's absorbing though, obviously to prevent the beast from escaping, he would create an electrical current around it. Clouds are made of water. Falkor bites on that electrical current. Thoron gets shocked as well. He's not electricity proof, otherwise it would have said. So that was the reason how Falkor escapes there. And reaching for the orb, obviously Thoron was not high enough away to where Falkor couldn't reach it. Now, I know whatever I say, some people are just going to think, oh, the bites the snakes came in, and all that kind of stuff. Well, at the end of the day, it's how I narrate it, it's how it's said, and at the end of the day, it is also me hosting the tournament. Yes, Lucas edits it and randomizes the matchups, but I host the tournament, I narrate it. I can actually do with this battle however I want. And if I narrate it as Falkor winning, I narrate it as Falkor winning. If anything, that kind of eliminates my worry of trying to figure out a way on how this beast can be defeated. This is why I have the orb there, because at the end of the day it's a cloud with only a couple weaknesses, which already makes him better than most of the other beasts. So I had to kind of even it out a little bit. I get requests from the old generation, special generation, that this isn't fair for the weaker beasts like Vedra, Crymon, Arcta, Nanook, because they're so much weaker compared to, I don't know, Koba, Slivka, Doomskull, Noctilla, Plexor, Wardock, Lycaxa. You guys wanted an equalizer there. I gave an equalizer. And if it's affecting this beast, which honestly I do not care for, but some of you do, then I'm afraid there's nothing I can do. Unfortunately, at the end of the day is how I narrate it, and this one happened to take the bad end of this straw for it, but like I said, I don't really mind about that. But anyway, like I said, Falkor's won. Moving on to round 2. Join me in the next video where we'll have 2 more beasts fighting Alpha Boss in round 2. Till then, peace out.